is the first word in these sentences, is the first word a verb?
Yeah.
Or is it a noun?
No, it's a verb.
It's a verb. How do you know it's a verb?
Because
Someone who hasn't answered yet. How do you know it's a verb? How do you know the first word is a verb?
Because the second one's a noun.
How do you know the second one's a noun?
You just
Look
fix
at the
because
patterns.
Huh?
if you look at talking and talking, the pub is the first one,
The
but
pab
Yeah.
stays the same. You can see, yeah, you can see the pab stays the same, and the other thing changes. You can see that girl is kuvu he, and boys looks like a boy would be kuvu hu.
Kuvuha.
Kuvu or kuvu.
Kuvuha.
Right,
The
okay.
ending tells you whether it's male or female as well, because the gender neutrals are I at the end.
Right.
Because it's not just
Okay.
the prefixes, the suffixes.
Ah, yes, indeed. Okay, so the verbs display their gender by sticking something on the front of them. The nouns display their gender by sticking something on the end of them. And they display plurals by doubling the last. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, by doubling the last syllable. Okay? Now what you've got is you've got a sense. So the first one here says ka, which means it's masculine.
Yeah.
Dalk, which means leaving. Kuvuha,
Boy.
boy. So it means the boy is leaving.
Yeah. Yep.
The next one is se, which means it's feminine. Right? Pap, papab, right? Is obviously a plural.
Yeah.
Right? And it means talking. So pab, fourth sentence down, P-A-Q-A, masculine, P-A-B must mean talking, and the A-B at the end, repetition of the last syllable, it must mean that it's a plural. Right? So somebody's talking. Who is talking? Well, I mean, post or la, it's going to be obvious, isn't it? Right? If post or la is postman, post or la, or post or la lu would be the plural, but it's got an E at the end, it's showing its gender, so it's feminine, the post women are talking. Right? And then they're going to ask you to do the other way around, and so forth. And this is going to get more complicated, obviously, but again, you get the point, yes?
Yeah.
Okay? Now bear in mind, now bear this in mind. Bear one thing in mind here, okay? Obviously, unless you absolutely fluke it and happen to be an Azeri,
Yeah.
unless you absolutely fluke it and happen to be, if you absolutely fluke it and happen to be an Azeri, you'll get all the Azeri stuff wrong. You're not going to get the Pont stuff right.
Yeah.
Right? What this is doing is testing how deep your pattern recognition goes. Okay? The longer it goes on, the harder it becomes. They do not they expect, from what I've seen with the Cambridge ones, they expect good students who are going to get in, to get 50% on the tests.
I have to pass the English and then pass the long, and then but in the end it gets really difficult. So I have to pass both sentences to know the pattern.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you need to do. So great. But the point again, now, if the first section of this test, notice this please, especially you guys, if the first section of this test was you dealing with single words, the second section of this test is you dealing with words together. In Arabic, single words, that's called sarf. Words together, that's called nahu. Or in English, morphology and syntax. Morphology means how the change in the shape of a word affects its meaning, like, likes, liked. Right? Love, lover, beloved. Okay? How does the change in the word affect its meaning? Alright? Syntax is about what happens when you put two words together. Alright? So part B is testing whether you can recognize patterns in syntax. Part C is about English. It's about English. Right? In the usage of 19th and the early 20th century, the phrases due to and owing to were used in different environments, as these examples illustrate. He was late owing to an accident. His lateness was due to an accident. Here, owing to is used as a preposition. It could be paraphrased as because of. Due to is used as an adjective, meaning attributable to. Okay? So middle table, jumla ismiya and jumla fi'liya, basically. Okay? In a nutshell. Right? Which of these is correct? Owing to an accident just under an hour ago, the concert had to be cancelled.
Yeah,
Correct. Correct.
Why?
owing to an accident.
I'll be really honest, I didn't have a logic, it sounded
It
right.
sounded
I went with it, and I didn't have any other alternatives.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Why? The rest of you answered yes. Why?
And replaced it with because of.
Yeah.
so
I
yeah.
just
I don't know.
substitute.
It makes sense
No, it's
because,
cheap.
then you just use because, that's why I used it. If you replace that sentence with because, it makes sense, then also use that. Makes sense.
Although in English you don't.
I'm
you
still not
shouldn't
hearing the right
start
answer.
with-
Yeah.
I've got it is correct, but I'm still not hearing the right answer.
I think
That's what I
the owing to comes after a verb, so he was late owing to, but the due to always comes after a noun, so in this case the concert had to be cancelled, which is a verb owing to.
That's the critical thing. You see this phrase, owing to an accident just under an hour ago. If I said to you, can you see the sentence is made up of two parts, separated by a comma. If I said to you, the concert had to be cancelled, is that a full sentence? Yeah, the concert
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Yes.
the class is cancelled, sorry. It's a full sentence.
Mm.
If I said to you, owing to an accident just under an hour ago, is that a full sentence?
No.
Right? In English, what we do often is we take the main part of the sentence, which is giving the actual proper information about the sentence, and the stuff that's giving additional information, we switch them around.
I was reading it back to front.
Yeah, the concert had to be cancelled owing to an accident just under an hour ago. You put it that way around, and it's obvious, right? It's the verb one. It's the verb one. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay? Paget cites an instance of blue saliva owing to staining the tongue with an aniline pencil. What kind of sentence? I didn't know that sentence means.
Yes.
Okay. Right or wrong?
Wrong.
Why? Is it Julia Smith? Is it?
It's not the cause of that. Like,
Remember that
and
because of and attributable to pretty much mean the same thing in English. Right? So it's not about that. Right, middle table. This is ta'alluq. You remember ta'alluq? This is muta'alliq to that, this is muta'alliq to this. Right? You know when I said that there are in that first sentence there are two phrases. Okay? There are two phrases. Okay, let me present this to you. The quick... Oh, that's on the board. And you see the board is now definitely on the wrong side for me. But let me write some on the board to show you. Okay? The quick dog jumped happily over the lazy... what is it?
The
quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Fine.
There's some geeks in this room, so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Use brown.
Brown.
No, I don't want to make things complicated. Right? Okay. Now then. That's a perfectly good sentence, right?
Yeah.
Which word in that sentence links is dependent on the word jumped? Or is linked intimately to the word jumped?
Fox.
Nope.
Over. Happily.
It's the adverb, isn't it? Jump.
It is
If I
describing the
took the
jump.
word jumped out, could that word happily be there?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Let me rewind a bit. Okay, let me rewind a bit. What is that sentence has lots of descriptive stuff in it, doesn't it? Okay. What is the basic thing that sentence is saying? the basic things a sentence
Fox
says.
jumped over the dog.
Fox jumped over the dog.
Over.
Fox jumped
Over dog.
over dog. Right? The main thing, that sentence is, when you read that sentence, what do you picture in your head? Okay? The main part of that sentence is what happened, who did it, what did he do it to? Okay? Now, everything else in that sentence is additional information. The word quick describes the fox. The word happily describes jumped. The word lazy describes the dog. Or to put it another way, yeah? It's not a fox, it's the fox. I could say here, it's not jumped but jumped over. Right? And it's not a dog, it's the dog. Yeah? Right. This is something we'll come to as we go through Arabic. What you have here is called the umda of the sentence, the main elements of the sentence. And any sentence has main elements. In Arabic it's called the umda. The umda. Umda. The umda. Don't worry about the words. Don't worry about the Arabic words. Don't worry about the Arabic words. It's the main part of the sentence. All this stuff is additional information. Yes, which in Arabic is called the fadla. Okay, the fadla, which is additional information. Every piece of additional information has to relate to one of the pieces of the main information. Yeah? Got that? Because without it, it wouldn't make any sense. The quick jumped, the quick happily, the lazy. Doesn't make any sense. The fox jumped over the dog, that makes sense. Well, even the fox jumps the dog, makes sense. Yeah? The quick over the lazy doesn't make any sense.
It does.
Only if what?
Only if we know the
No, if it
Only
is
if
yes.
you know the context.
Yeah.
So if you said like that, what's that movie called? The Quick and the Dead? The Bold and the Beautiful. Right?
That's an American series, but yeah.
I know. Ridge and Fawn, I remember.
Oh!
Yeah? Right? It's about living in a small flat.
Oh,
It's about living in a small flat that had a TV and a wife. That's what it's about. So, but what does that mean? It means, the bold and the beautiful means the bold men and the beautiful women. Because it's obvious what they're referring to, you can remove those things. But that's a stylistic feature of English.
I didn't know it was obvious.
Okay. But the point is that you have a central part of the sentence and then you have additional information. The critical thing is that the additional information has to be linked to something in the main part of the sentence. That's ta'alluq. You know when you say jar majrur muta'alliq to Huh? No, I'm asking to speak to these guys because this is how you learn Arabic, right?
Yeah.
Jar majrur, what does that even? This is what it means. This is ta'alluq. That's ta'alluq. You're saying this additional piece of it. I meant, you know, so رأيت don't worry about it, right? رأيت زيد في البيت. Okay? I saw Zaid in the house. Okay? That means I saw Zaid in the house. What's the main part of that sentence? What will minimally, what I'm saying is, what will minimally convey the main information of that sentence? I saw Zaid. Done.
That's it. Done.
So this bit here is additional. What in the sentence does it link to? It can link to Zaid's location. Yeah, I saw Zaid while he was in the house. it can link to me, or I can link to, sorry, to me. I saw Zaid while I was in the house, right? Or it can link to the verb itself. I saw in the house Zaid. Okay? So what the additional thing links to, that's an important part of grammar. Right? Because it can have a very different meaning. Right? So I saw Zaid, how can I find a phrase? Okay, I'll give you an example of, I'll give you a simple example of how these things in grammar can work. Okay? Actually, this water will be fine. Look at that sentence there. This is not about a principle compromised. This is about a principled compromise.
A principled compromise. Ah, nice.
This is an actual quote. This is an actual quote from one of the lead negotiators of the Northern Ireland Peace Treaty. What's the difference in, forget this bit, forget that. What is the difference between those two sentences?
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
You shift the D, you change the meaning completely. Why? What is principled? What's that? What is it?
So
What-
that
sorry, what is it
implies
gramma-
that the compromise.
What is it grammatically? What is compromise grammatically? It's a noun.
Yeah, it's
What is
What is
describing
principled?
That it's already.
No. What
No,
is
it's,
principled?
it's describing
It's
the
an
noun.
adjective.
It's an adjective, yeah.
It's an adjective.
Yeah.
It's an adjective, isn't it?
Mm.
Principled is an adjective.
The other one's is it
What is compromised?
Verb.
No,
No, it's adjective.
it's an adjective.
Adjective.
It's an adjective.
Yeah.
But it's an adjective of that, right? So, this is a noun. This is not about a principle. This is about a compromise. This is not about what type of principle? A compromised principle. This is about a compromise. What type of compromise? A principled compromise.
So,
Yeah? It explains very, all you've done is shifted the D. That's it. All you've done is shifted the D. And you completely change the meaning of the sentence. Right? And it is about understanding what is the adjective and what is the noun it is describing. Right? In grammar, or in any language I should say, you have two types of words, basically. You have content words, and then you have grammar words. There's two types of words. Okay? So if I say, the man is tall, what are the content words in that sentence? Things that actually have a meaning in and of themselves. You think, and how do you do this? Does it conjure an image in your head?
Yeah.
Think of the word man, it conjures an image in your head. Think of the word the. What does the word the bring to mind in your head? Nothing. Right? What does the word the do?
Specifies which.
Specifies. Specifies something. The man is tall. Right? It's a content word, yes? Okay. What does the word is do?
Creating
the link between the man and the...
Creates a link between.
It's telling you it what.
Telling you when it's happening. When I said the man is tall, does it tell you when the time frame? No. Okay. What does it tell you? It links the concept of tallness to the concept of man. Right. So now you're not just picturing a man and tall. You're picturing a tall man. The word is links them together. But it links them together in a way that, let me put tall man, let me put tall back there for a second. Right? It links them together in a way that this, difference? Can you see that? Yeah? What's the difference?
No time.
Huh?
No time.
There's no time when the man is tall. Well, there is, isn't there?
There
The
is.
tense thing that's actually happening now is
Yeah.
tall when the man, we don't know, when
He's
it was
always
10 years ago, or was it now?
So there's a difference, isn't there? The tall man links together the concept of tall and man. The man is tall links together the concept of man and tall and man. But the word is does two things actually. The first is that it says he's tall now. Not the man will be tall. Not the man was tall. Not the man had been tall. Not the man would have been tall. Can you see how many there are in English? Is, had been, was, is, will be, would have been, is being. There are all, and they all relate to, one's was being is the other one, they all relate to different time periods. By the way, Arabic doesn't do that. Arabic is tenseless. Arabic is tenseless. Okay? Meaning, there's no automatic relationship between the word. This may shock you, but there's no automatic relationship between the word and when it happened. Between a verb and when it happened. You talk about the past tense, and you say, no, the Madi is the past tense. That's the one thing I've done here in Arabic classes. The Madi is the past tense. No, it's not. Not automatically. Not automatically. Okay? Indo-European languages, Sanskrit, German, Latin, English, okay, all have a very complicated system of explaining exactly when an action happened. Arabic doesn't. Semitic languages don't. Right? What are the Semitic languages? Hebrew. The language of the Old Testament. Aramaic. The language of
The New Testament.
Jesus. Not necessarily the New Testament, it's in Greek, but Jesus. Arabic, the language of the Quran. Or to put that another way, Hebrew, the language of Moses, Aramaic, the language of Jesus, and Arabic, the language of the prophets. Right? 3 religions where you have the notion of a transcendent, timeless God. Okay? Where you have the notion of a transcendent and timeless God have tenseless verbs. Have verbs that do not automatically imply a time period. So that when God says, God did that, where Ja'al Allah, God made that, as opposed to وَيَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ, God is making it. Yeah? When those verbs are used in the Quran, as they are in many, many, many places, to relate to God, you can actually apply them tenselessly, outside of time. When they relate to human beings, you can just use them for the tenses that they imply. Okay? But when they apply to God, you have the facility in the 3 Abrahamic faiths, the languages of the 3 Abrahamic faiths, to speak about God doing things outside of time.
So unique.
Huh?
Is that unique to those 3 languages?
Is it unique to Semitic languages? Pretty much. Pretty much. Not entirely, but pretty much. Yeah? The fascinating thing about Christianity, of course, is that Christianity was preached in Greek.
Yeah.
And Greek is a tensed It's tense language, right? Greek has tenses. And what do when you're talking about God in a tenseless way in Hebrew or in Aramaic? That is then translated into Greek, where the verb itself implies a time period. So which tense do you use for God's actions? Present, past, future?
No, it's all three.
And it can be argued, it can be argued that a lot of the doctrinal confusions that arose in Christianity arose because of the translation from Aramaic to Greek, from a tenseless language where it has an ambiguity that is very, very beneficial when you're talking about a timeless being, into a language where you have no such latitude for ambiguity.
And gender.
Same thing applies to gender. Same thing applies to gender. So in German, for example, German has a masculine, a feminine, and a neutral. You saw that in there, right? You saw that there, how they use the verbs? How the verbs and the nouns are used in Plonk, right? There's a way of talking about things that are actually male, right? Biologically male. You use the male gender, right? Biologically female. So it's, what is it? QA means biologically male. SE means biologically female, and I means biologically neutral. We're talking about trees, rocks, this, what. You use the I. How do you do that in English? He, she, it. He, she, it. Okay? Well, what does it refer to? Something that is inanimate. Something that doesn't have a soul. Right? So generally, it is used for something that doesn't, or certainly something that doesn't have consciousness. So you can say that the tree is in bloom, it is bearing apples. You wouldn't say he is bearing apples or she is bearing apples, you'd say it. If you spoke about your goldfish, would you say he, she, it? You spoke about your cat, your dog, Sufi? What are you going to say, yeah?
That only differs between people who do and don't have animals.
Yeah, that's true. We left Sufi at home, it's not well.
He.
Man! He is not well! Right? Of course. Okay.
Do you think it's much of relationships then?
That is, yeah. But you certainly would not say, right,
Because
about...
people have relationships with cards.
Yeah.
Objects, they would refer to them in
Now,
she.
that's the
gender.
difference between when emotion enters into language and the language itself. Ideally, for a car, you'd use it,
Yeah.
right? This doesn't always work. German is a gendered language. In German, a maiden, a Fraulein, right? A Fraulein. What's the gender? Grammatically, it's neutral. Grammatically neutral. Turnip, I don't know what the German for turnip is, but the word for turnip is grammatically feminine. The young lady cooked the turnip. It ate her. That's how you say it in German. It ate her. Mark Twain had a big laugh about this when he tried to learn German. It really frustrated him. He said, how is the, what was that thing?
How terrible are the German people
Yeah.
that they call women, speak
They
of
call
women as
women it and turnips her. How are the turnips cooking? She is cooking just fine. And how is the beautiful and talented cook? It's okay. All right. So anyhow, point is, in language you have content words. Those are the things that contain the meaning. The meanings, the images in your head. Then you have grammar words. And grammar words join together the things that have meaning in your head. To put that another way, animals have content vocabulary. What animals don't have is grammar. Grammar is the thing that makes you human. not to put too fine a point on it. Grammar is the thing that makes you a human. The innate ability that all human beings have, animals communicate with each other in all different ways, sometimes with sound, sometimes by scent, whatever, but they communicate things like, concepts like danger, mating, fertile, water. They communicate things like that. They may communicate concepts like verbs, yeah, running, fleeing, chasing, eating, okay? But what they don't have is the ability to have grammar words, things to link concepts together. What is the difference between I am fleeing from the lion and the lion is fleeing from me?
Subject and object.
Huge difference. Yeah? I am eating the hyena is eating me. Okay? In one, the thing you're going to be communicating is, come on, I am eating the hyena, come and eat some as well. Or I'm eating the antelope, come and eat some as well. Yeah? In the other one, the antelope, the hyena is eating me, what are you going to be communicating?
Run.
Run! Run! Okay? This is about grammar. This is about grammar. What you're going to be learning about, and all the various complicated grammatical rules you're going to be learning, is about how to link concepts together. The difference between that and that, you said one is tense, it communicates tense. But here's the other thing, if I said to you the man is tall, you'd say, okay. If I said to you the tall man,
You're waiting for something else. It's got nothing to-
what? What about the tall man? And you just know that that sentence is not complete. You need something else. So the other thing that the is does is it gives you a complete sentence, which that doesn't do. It doesn't give you a complete sentence. Okay? All happy with that? That's what that whole third exercise is about.
Can I just ask though,
Huh?
are you sure French has cases?
No. I may have made
I mean,
that.
it has.
Does French have cases?
No.
It has conjugation.
It has conjugation. It doesn't have
Yeah.
cases. Yeah.
Mm.
It's word order again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
I was in Spanish doesn't have cases.
yeah. But Latin does, which is interesting. Anyway, that's fine. We'll talk about that some time. Okay, you all happy so far? Not a stitch of Arabic so far, aren't you happy? Right, now what you're going to do is some more not Arabic. Okay? What I want you to do now, given some of the stuff that we have spoken about, you're all going to sit on your tables. Okay? And you're going to think about inventing your own language.
Can you have a break, please, 5 minutes?
Yeah, you can, but I'll tell you what to do first. You're going to be thinking about inventing your own language. On your table, so 3, 4, you guys all join together, please, to make it 5, okay? Okay, and I don't want you to think about words. I don't want you to think about content words. I want you to think about if you, so the scenario is, you are stranded on a desert island, okay, along with 3 other people, and none of you speak anything remotely like the same language. It is impossible for any of you to communicate with the other person in your own language or in their own language. And what you now need to do is create a language so that you can communicate with one another. And my question to you is, what would you need to do? And what I'm going to give you a little bit of guidance, because I'm going to give you 15-20 minutes to spend on this, and then we'll come back together, okay? And what I want you to think about is what needs to be communicated in terms of individual concepts, in terms of linking concepts together, in terms of conveying complete meaning. What are the fundamental things that need to be communicated? What are the additional things that need to be communicated? Okay?
Sorry, you said fundamental
Right.
and additional.
Come back again. what are the things that need to be communicated by individual words? What types of things need to be communicated in terms of linking those individual things together, or individual concepts, linking individual concepts together, right? And then producing complete sentences that don't require you to give any further information, as well as, finally, modifiers. Okay? What do I mean by a modifier? I am hungry. I am not hungry. I am hungry. I was hungry. I am hungry. I am hungrier. Okay? These are modifiers which give very different meanings. Okay? Let's take a 5-10 minute break, get yourselves a cup of tea and so forth, and then you're going to spend about 20 odd minutes doing this. Alright, and then we will finish off by just coming together and having a quick discussion about it. The reason I'm doing this is because next week we are going to take a look at how Arabic does these things. And that will give you a nice overarching structure of the entire Arabic language. Okay? Great.
My car broke down.
Stop it, yeah. Uh-huh.